After the death of Solomon, 2 Chronicles chapter 10 marks a dramatic turning point in Israel's history. His son Rehoboam travels to Shechem, where all Israel has gathered to make him king. What should have been the beginning of a united reign soon becomes the moment the kingdom is divided. Among those returning to the assembly is Jeroboam, son of Nebat. He had previously fled to Egypt to escape Solomon, but returns after hearing of the king's death. Together with the leaders of Israel, Jeroboam approaches Rehoboam with a respectful request. They remind the new king that Solomon placed a heavy burden of labor and taxation upon the people. They ask Rehoboam to lighten that load, promising that if he governs with kindness and fairness, they will faithfully serve him. Rather than answering immediately, Rehoboam asks for 3 days to consider their request. The people agree and wait for his decision. Rehoboam first seeks advice from the older men who had served his father Solomon. These experienced counselors urge him to respond with humility. They tell him that if he is kind to the people, speaks graciously and serves them well, they will remain loyal to him for life. But Rehoboam rejects their counsel. Instead, he turns to the younger men who had grown up with him and now serve as his closest advisors. They encourage him to display strength rather than compassion. They tell him to answer the people with even greater severity. Following their advice, Rehoboam returns after 3 days and delivers a harsh response. He tells the people that his little finger is thicker than his father's waist. If Solomon disciplined them with whips, he declares, he will discipline them with scorpions, meaning even harsher punishment. Instead of easing their burden, he promises to increase it. The decision shocks the people. The writer explains that this turn of events is not outside God's control. The division fulfills the word the Lord had spoken through Ahijah the Shilonite to Jeroboam. When all Israel hears the king's answer, they reject Rehoboam's rule. They cry out, "What share do we have in David? What inheritance do we have in the son of Jesse? To your tents, Israel. Now look after your own house, David." With those words, the northern tribes separate from the house of David. Only the people living in the cities of Judah remain under Rehoboam's rule. Trying to regain control, Rehoboam sends Hadoram, the official responsible for forced labor, to the northern tribes. Instead of welcoming him, the people stone him to death. Rehoboam quickly escapes by chariot and flees back to Jerusalem, realizing the rebellion is beyond his control. From that day forward, Israel remains divided. The northern tribes follow Jeroboam while the southern kingdom of Judah continues under the descendants of David. One lesson stands out with unmistakable clarity. Leadership is strengthened by humility, not pride. Rehoboam had the opportunity to unite the nation through compassion and wise listening, but he chose arrogance over understanding. His refusal to hear good counsel cost him the greater part of his kingdom. The chapter reminds us that those who ignore wisdom often create consequences that cannot easily be undone. The narrative continues in 2 Chronicles chapter 11, where Rehoboam prepares for war to reunite the kingdom. But God intervenes through the prophet Shemaiah with a surprising command that changes the course of events.